Peace, family. This is your brother Malcolm Flex TV, and I just wanted to do this quick video in regards to reparations in Cobra and ADOS. Okay, and I've been weighing a lot of this stuff as far as both reparations group. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan just recently spoke at a reparations convention in Cobra, And as far as the groups are concerned, I wasn't all the way savvy about these groups, but I was made aware about these groups by a brother named Brother Jermaine. Shout out to that brother. Peace to that brother. And, he was hitting me up, and a couple of other brothers in the nation, trying to get us to check these other brothers who are in the nation who support in Cobra. Okay, and we had, long dialogue via DM on Instagram. So I did a little research on Cobra, and they have a few names that I recognized that were notable. And so I went to the website, and I saw a picture on the website of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who is a supporter of Cobra. Okay, and ADOS, one of their arguments is that, that these brothers and sisters have been fighting for reparations all this time and hasn't achieved anything for black people, and that they are the reason that the reparations conversation is being had once again. That is being widely spoken about in mainstream media once again because of them. Okay, which has some truth to it. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, after I learned these things, and I told the brother, well, I can't check these brothers because they try to get us to choose sides versus ADOS and then Cobra. That's pitting members of the Nation of Islam against one another. You know what I mean? And in the nation, we have our own program. So when I learned that the minister supports this group, I said, oh, no, I can't go out and trying to check people and condemn people, who supports Cobra, because our minister supports Cobra. And the minister spoke recently at one of their reparations events, and he was speaking to both groups, in my opinion. Because in ADOS you have the youth, and in Cobra you have many of our elders that are a part of this group. And what I took from the minister's lecture was, you can't have the youth without the elders and the elders without the youth, that you need both. That the elders would be foolish to not duplicate themselves in the youth, those who would represent the future. And to also, he was speaking to the youth and saying that we can't be foolish enough to not respect our elders and their wisdom and follow in the footsteps and the path that they had laid and set forth for us. Okay, because fighting for reparations, especially on behalf of black people, isn't an easy task. I believe in Durban, and when our elders were presenting the case for reparations to the UN, that America walked out on the convention. Okay, and it could have been Israel and Britain as well, but I know for a fact America walked out. You know, basically showing us no respect. So many of our brothers and sisters who support ADOS, and you condemn members of Cobra, I guess you say, for the lack of activity and criticizing ADOS. And then when I learned some of the criticisms and some of the criticizers who are a part of the ADOS movement, individuals like Sister Yvette Carnell, you know, who did an all-out verbal assault on the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and she and others have criticized many other great leaders in the black community. You know, so I personally feel that if you all can give out criticisms of members who've been working on behalf of the black community for years, you can all should be able to take criticism when it comes your way. It's only fair, in my opinion. You know, so just as I informed Brother Jermaine that I can't throw I can't throw Cobra away based on, you know, them not being able to get us the reparations. At the same time, I can't just throw away ADOS and Yvette Carnell for the statements that they have made, because it doesn't teach us to do that in the Nation of Islam. Everybody want to throw one another away. We don't do that in the nation. You know, and ADOS believes that if you are not an American descendant of slave, that you shouldn't get anything. When it's not just American descendants of slaves that are suffering from imperialism and capitalism and Zionism. Okay? We are not the only ones suffering. In the teachings and the lessons of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, it teaches us that what is the population of the original nation in the wilderness of North America and all over the planet Earth? Answer. The population of the original nation in the wilderness of North America is 17 million. With the 2 million Indians makes it 19 million. All over the planet Earth, 400 million. Pardon me. And it also teaches in the lessons that who is the 85%, the 10%, and the 5%. Okay, and the 85% are the blind, deaf, and dumb, the poison animal eaters who believe in the mystery God. Okay, who are subjects and enslaved to the 10%. Okay? So we got to understand that the majority of oppressed people represents the 85% of the total population of the planet Earth. So we can't just throw people away because, you know, there are many peoples and many groups of us who are suffering from oppression. And that's why some of the rhetoric that is being used in that movement is dangerous. And that aspect of it, I personally can't support that. But what I can support is brothers and sisters in ADOS and brothers and sisters in Cobra on a united front, coming together. And because both groups are fighting on behalf of reparations. And these are two black reparation groups. So it doesn't even look right. It doesn't even make sense to have two black reparation groups at odds with one another, fighting with one another. You know, that doesn't even make sense because ADOS needs Cobra and Cobra needs ADOS. ADOS needs the experience that comes out of that movement, and Cobra needs the youthfulness and the young intellect to be able to use the social platforms that we have and that we are able to use now. See, that's why the scripture says, young men for war, older men for counsel. See, so that's why it wouldn't be wise to throw one another away. You need each other. You need the wisdom of the elders, and you need the youth and the technological and the social intelligence that the youth possesses. Because both have power. Okay, both groups have influence. But it's how we use our influence is what's going to get us to the achieved goal that we all desire. You know? So it wouldn't be right to drag the Nation of Islam and members in the Nation of Islam in the battle and to choose sides. There's only one side in my eyes. There's only one side. We don't need to be fighting one another. It shouldn't be Cobra versus ADOS. It shouldn't be that. Both groups should be working together. So this is your brother Malcolm Flex TV. I just wanted to just do a quick short video on this in hopes to inspire some type of unity, for us to be reasonable, and understanding to each other's situation, and not to inflame anybody, but just to speak truth to power. And if you choose not to continue to support the Nation of Islam, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in the Final Call newspaper, because we won't choose sides, okay, then that's on you. That's not going to stop the movement of the Nation of Islam. That's not going to stop the work that is being done and put in by the Nation of Islam. More power to you if you think that'll help the situation. But again, this is your brother Malcolm Flex TV. I just wanted to drop this quick video and get my thoughts. Peace and assalamu alaikum.